In a world where trust is a fragile thing, one man is about to learn that the deepest wounds are the ones inflicted by those we love most. Alex had always believed in justice, he was raised by it, but when his own father's legacy is shattered by betrayal and his closest ally turns against him, Alex is forced to confront a truth more devastating than any crime he's ever faced. Not everyone is who they seem, and not all battles are won by the strong. The cost of uncovering the truth may be higher than he ever imagined. His life, his legacy, and the only person who ever believed in him. Before we dive into today's story, let us know in the comments where in the world are you watching this video from. We'd love to hear from you. Alex Turner had never known a life that wasn't shaped by his father's name. Growing up, every schoolyard had a rumor, every stranger had a whispered story, and every police officer carried a badge of respect. Because Thomas Turner wasn't just any detective, he was a legend. Alex had never been the one to crave attention. The Turner's legacy, though powerful, was never one he thought he could carry. He wasn't his father, he was his son, and for years he'd tried to distance himself from the shadow that loomed over him. But some shadows are too long to outrun. Even as a child, Alex could feel it. The expectations, they weren't spoken, but they were always there, an invisible force pressing against his chest. It wasn't enough to simply be good. To be good was to fall short. The world expected greatness, his father's greatness, and while Alex had inherited the same sharp eyes and mind for detail, the burden was heavy. Too heavy for someone who just wanted to be himself. Voice from outside. Detective Turner, you got a visitor. To most people, being a detective is about solving puzzles, the thrill of finding the truth, of piecing the pieces together. But for Alex, that was never enough. For Alex, justice wasn't just a professional duty, it was a promise to the memory of his father, a promise to the people who had been wronged, a promise to a system that was starting to crack under its own corruption. Detective Foster told Alex, "There's something you need to see. It's about your father and the case he never closed." The legacy of Thomas Turner was something Alex had spent his life trying to both respect and escape, but tonight that legacy would reveal a truth far darker than Alex could have ever imagined. Because in this world where truth and lies collide, the line between right and wrong isn't always so clear, and when a powerful detective's son gets too close to a dangerous secret, the cost of uncovering it might just be his life. Alex Turner may have inherited his father's sharp mind, but tonight he would learn that the price of knowing too much might be the very thing that unravels everything he thought he knew. The office door clicks shut behind Alex as Detective Foster steps inside, his face tight with unease. The air in the room feels thicker now, suffused with the weight of unspoken truths. Alex, still reeling from the message Foster just delivered, takes a seat at his father's old desk, the leather chair creaking under his weight. His hands are trembling slightly as he reaches for a glass of water, but he can't bring himself to drink. The words Foster spoke echo in his mind. Detective Foster told Alex, "This isn't just any case. It's about your father's last investigation, the one that nearly broke him." Alex told, "Are you saying my father was involved in something dangerous, something that wasn't just about solving crimes?" Detective Foster told, "Your father knew too much about Judge Harrison. Harrison wasn't just a judge. He's been involved in every major scandal in this city, the ones that no one talks about. Alex, your father was closer to the truth than anyone realized, and before he retired, he was preparing to expose it all." Alex had always wondered why his father had retired so abruptly, why the once indomitable detective who'd made his name breaking down corruption and dismantling crime syndicates had chosen to walk away from it all. But now he understood. Thomas Turner hadn't quit. He'd been forced into silence. Alex told, "That's my father." Detective Foster told, "Your father was onto something big, Alex. He knew Harrison was dirty, really dirty. The kind of corruption that reaches into the very heart of this city, and when your father got too close, they took him down, not physically, but they silenced him. Made him think he had no choice but to step away. The truth wasn't just buried, it was actively hidden, and Alex was now walking the same path his father had taken, closer than he realized to uncovering a darkness that had been carefully concealed for years. Alex told, "I can't back down, I can't let them get away with this." Detective Foster told, "I'm not telling you to back down, Alex, but you need to understand something. Whoever's behind this, they're not going to let you get to the truth, and they'll do anything to make sure you don't." As Alex prepares to take the next step in his father's investigation, he feels something shift inside him. A sense of purpose, but also a heavy dread, because the closer he gets to uncovering the truth, the more he realizes that there's a force out there that will stop at nothing to protect their secrets. Alex didn't know it yet, but this was the moment everything would change. The moment he stepped into the arena of corruption that had claimed his father's career, his father's peace of mind, and now his own freedom. Detective Foster told, "You need to get out of here. Now it's too dangerous." The game was no longer a game of facts and figures. It was a race for survival, and Alex had just entered a battle far more treacherous than any case his father had ever solved. He wasn't just fighting for justice anymore, he was fighting for his life. The roar of the black SUV's engine fades as Alex runs down the narrow alley, his feet pounding against the concrete. His breath is heavy, sharp, each inhalation pushing him further into a state of panic. His heart races in his chest, a drumbeat of impending danger. He can't believe this is happening. He thought he had control, he thought he was prepared, but nothing in his life had prepared him for this. Alex turns sharply into another alley, eyes scanning for any sign of an escape route. His mind is a whirlwind of thoughts, but one thing stands out above all else. He needs to survive. He needs to stay alive long enough to find the truth, to finish what his father started. But the weight of the moment is pressing on him, suffocating him. The city that Alex had once known, had once trusted, was no longer a place of safety. It was a hunting ground, and he was the prey. Whoever had set the trap knew exactly how to make him feel cornered, how to make him question every step he took. They were watching, waiting, setting the stage for something much darker than Alex could imagine. Whoever was behind this knew him well. They understood his instincts, his need to chase after the truth, to never back down. They knew that Alex wouldn't stop until he uncovered the truth behind his father's final investigation, and that was exactly what they wanted. They had set the trap, and now all they had to do was wait. Alex told, Think, Alex. They're toying with you. You're not out of this yet." "Foster?" Detective Foster told Alex, "You've made a big mistake." Alex had trusted Detective Foster in the tangled mess of lies and deceit that had surrounded his father's investigation. Foster had always been the one person who seemed genuine. But now, standing before him, Alex realizes with a sickening jolt that the person he'd trusted the most might be the very one leading him to his doom. Alex told, No, Foster, this can't be happening. You were helping me." Detective Foster told, "I was helping you, Alex, but you weren't meant to find out this much. You were never meant to follow your father's footsteps this far. You think this is all some kind of game, that you can just walk in here, solve the mystery, and make everything right. But you're wrong. The game's already been played, and the pieces are set. You were never meant to win." In that moment, the realization hits harder than any blow Alex has ever faced. The person he thought was his ally, his mentor, was the very one who had been manipulating him. Foster had been guiding him to the truth, only to lead him into a trap. And now, as the walls close in, Alex knows there's no turning back. Alex told, "Why, Foster? Why would you do this? I trusted you." Detective Foster told, Because, Alex, sometimes the truth is more dangerous than the lies. You don't know what you're up against. You don't know what you're really dealing with. The trap was set, the pieces were in place, and Alex, the very man who had once sought justice, was now caught in the web of a conspiracy that no one could have prepared him for. He grips the pipe tighter, a sense of clarity washing over him. If this is the end, he's going to fight until his last breath. The cold steel of the warehouse walls presses in around Alex as he stands, breath shallow, every sense on high alert. The sound of heavy footsteps fills the silence, drawing closer, closer. The men in suits move like shadows, closing in on him from all directions. His grip tightens around the metal pipe, a fleeting comfort in a world that's rapidly spinning out of control. In the distance, Foster remains unmoved, standing with an unsettling calm that sends chills down Alex's spine. The betrayal stings more with each passing second. He wants to scream, to fight, but something in Foster's eyes, something hollow and calculated, warns him to be careful. The group of suited men halts as one, their eyes scanning Alex with detached precision. There's no hesitation in their movements, no uncertainty in their gaze. These men are professionals. This isn't a mere game of cat and mouse anymore. It's a well-orchestrated operation, and Alex is the target. Detective Foster told, "It was always meant to be you, Alex. You were the final piece, the key to everything. And now you've become the problem." But then, with brutal precision, Foster turns to the group of men behind him, nodding slightly. The leader of the group, a tall, imposing figure with steely eyes, steps forward, his voice cold as ice. Leader told, "You've been a thorn in our side for too long, Turner. Your father dug too deep, and now you're digging in places you shouldn't be. It's time to end this charade." Leader told, "We gave your father a warning, Alex, but it seems he was too stubborn to listen. Now you're the one who needs to understand. Some truths are better left buried." Leader told, "Your father's investigation wasn't just about corruption, Alex. It wasn't about exposing a few dirty politicians or crooked businessmen. Your father, he was involved in something much bigger, something that goes all the way to the top, something that you, my friend, are now wrapped up in." Alex feels his stomach twist in horror. He looks at Foster, searching for some sign of reassurance, some sign that this was all a lie. But Foster's face is set in grimstone, offering no answers, no salvation. Alex told, "You're lying. My father would never, he wouldn't." Detective Foster told, "He wasn't just the hero you thought he was, Alex. He was part of something bigger, something far darker than you can imagine." Alex's world was unraveling, and with each revelation, the thread that held everything together seemed to slip further from his grasp. The truth he'd spent his entire life seeking was more elusive than ever. But in the face of this nightmare, Alex could feel the embers of a cold fury beginning to burn in his chest. If he wasn't going to get the answers from Foster, from the men in suits, then he would get them himself, no matter the cost. Leader that told, "You're tangled in the web now, Alex. And the only way out is to keep playing your part. If you want to survive, you'll have to let go of the past. Let go of your father's legacy. He's gone, and now you'll take his place." Alex told, "I won't become like him. I won't let you turn me into whatever this is. I'll find the truth. I'll expose everything you've done." Detective Foster told, "Exposing the truth won't change anything, Alex. It'll only make you a target. You're already in too deep." Alex was no longer just fighting for answers, he was fighting for his own survival, and with every word, every betrayal, he could feel the walls closing in. There was no way out, no easy escape. The game had changed, and now he was playing by their rules. The cold, relentless sound of the ticking clock echoes in Alex's ears as he sits, slumped in the darkened corner of the small claustrophobic interrogation room. His mind races, thoughts colliding like crashing waves, each one carrying a different possibility, a different path. The walls around him close in, the weight of the accusations pressing down on his chest, suffocating him with the knowledge that the life he once knew was over. The door to the interrogation room opens with a squeal of metal, and Alex's heart jumps. He looks up to see the silhouette of Detective Foster standing in the doorway. His face is unreadable, cold as ice, but his eyes, there's something behind them, a flicker of something Alex can't quite grasp. Detective Foster told, "You're wondering what happens next, aren't you, Alex?" Alex told, "You won't get away with this, Foster. I know what you're doing. I know what you all are doing." Detective Foster told, "You're already in too deep, Alex. The framing has already begun." Alex told, "You can't do this. I won't let you destroy everything my father fought for." Detective Foster told, "You've already been destroyed, Alex. It's just a matter of time before the world knows. We have everything we need, the evidence, the witnesses. And soon you'll have nothing left. Your father's name will be tarnished, your career will be over, and you'll be right where we need you." Detective Foster told, "Do you know what it feels like to be completely helpless, to have no control over your own fate? To know that you're being watched, monitored, and manipulated every second of the day? That's the world you're living in now, Alex." Alex told, "I won't play by your rules. You think you can frame me? You think you can make me into some criminal to erase my father's name? I'll fight. I'll expose everything. You'll wish you never started this." Foster looks at Alex for a long moment as if weighing his words before nodding slowly, his face betraying nothing. Detective Foster told, "You'll see soon enough, Alex. It's already too late. The framing has begun. Your every move is being watched. Every phone call, every email, every text you've sent, every connection you've made, every person you've spoken to, it's all being documented. And soon, when the evidence is in place, we'll make sure the world sees you for what you truly are." In the silence that follows, Alex looks Foster dead in the eye. His voice is quiet, but his words are filled with more conviction than ever. Alex told, "You can try to break me, you can try to bury the truth, but I'm not done yet. You've made a mistake, Foster, and I will find a way to expose every last one of you." Detective Foster told, "We'll see, Alex, we'll see. The sun is barely rising, casting a faint glow over the city, but for Alex, it feels like the world has been plunged into darkness. Every corner he turns, every shadow he passes, feels heavy with the weight of the lies closing in on him. The framing is no longer just a conspiracy, it's a reality. And now, with his back against the wall, Alex knows he has no choice but to chase the truth wherever it leads. Because if he doesn't, everything he's worked for, everything his father fought for, will be swallowed by the lies his phone buzzes in his pocket, interrupting his thoughts. Alex pulls it out, glancing at the screen. A text from an unknown number. "Meet me at the old docks, 9 a.m. Don't bring anyone." Alex hesitates, his instincts screaming at him to be careful, but his desperation outweighs the fear. This could be the break he's been waiting for. With a sharp breath, he tucks the phone back into his jacket pocket. The docks are eerily quiet, the air thick with the scent of salt and rust. Alex's footsteps echo against the worn concrete, each step sending ripples of tension through his body. He knows this place. It's where deals are made in the shadows, where the city's underbelly thrives in secrecy. He's heard rumors about things happening here, but this is different. This is his last chance, voice told. "You came," Alex told Duncan. "You better have something for me. I'm risking everything just by being here," Duncan told. "You're right to be cautious. I don't trust many these days, but your father, I owe him more than I can repay." Alex told, "Then tell me everything you know. Who's behind this? Who's pulling the strings? I need to know the truth. I'm running out of time." Duncan told, "This is everything I could find. It's not much, but it's a start. You've got the proof you need here, but don't make the mistake of trusting anyone. The web is bigger than you think. They've got eyes everywhere." Alex told, "Thank you, Duncan. I won't let this be the end. I'll expose the truth, even if it means bringing this whole city down." Duncan told, "Be careful, Alex. You're not just chasing the truth now, you're chasing a storm, and when the storm hits, it'll tear everything apart." Alex nods, understanding the gravity of Duncan's words. But he has no choice. He can't back down. Not now, not when the stakes are so high. Back in his apartment, Alex slams the door shut behind him, his pulse quickening as he rips open the envelope. Inside, there are pages of documents, case files, police reports, confidential memos. As his eyes scan the contents, a chill runs down his spine. The names in these documents are familiar, too familiar, names he trusted, names of people he thought were allies, and then there's the one name that sticks out, Judge Crawford. The revelation hits him like a punch to the gut. Judge Crawford, the man who had always been above reproach, the man who was supposed to uphold the law, the man who had been involved in his father's downfall. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place, but they make no sense. You've seen the files. Don't get too close. They're watching. You're not safe. But Alex won't back down. He can't. He's come too far to stop now. He takes a deep breath, steeling himself for the next step. Alex told, "The truth is out there, and I'm going to find it, no matter the cost." Alex is no stranger to betrayal. He's seen it up close, lived it in the shadows of his father's fallen empire, but this is different. This isn't just betrayal from a corrupt system, this is personal. And as the truth comes crashing down, Alex finds himself at the center of a storm that threatens to consume everything and everyone he holds dear. His phone buzzes again, the familiar ominous tone, another message. This time, the words are simple, direct, and they carry an undeniable weight. "Meet me at the old courthouse, midnight, come alone." But what a choice does he have? The moon casts an eerie light over the abandoned courthouse, the towering structure looming like a relic from a past that's long been forgotten. The air is thick with anticipation as Alex approaches the front steps. Every instinct tells him to turn back, to walk away from this nightmare before it consumes him whole. But he's too far gone. He's come too far to stop now. He steps inside, the heavy doors creaking on their hinges, the sound echoing in the empty halls. His footsteps are the only noise that fills the void, the stillness pressing down on him from all sides. The place feels like a tomb, the walls closing in with every step. At the end of the hall, a shadow moves, slowly, deliberately, emerging from the darkness. Alex's heart pounds in his chest as the figure steps into the light. "It's him," Alex told you. "I knew you were behind this." The man before him is none other than his father's closest friend, Detective Raymond Daniels, the man who had always been the steady hand in Alex's life, the man who had been his mentor, his guide, but now, standing before him, Raymond's face is a mask of cold indifference. His once warm eyes are now steely, devoid of the humanity Alex had always known. Raymond told, "You were always too naive, Alex, too trusting. But that was your greatest strength and your biggest weakness." Alex's anger flares, but he keeps it in check, his voice steady as he confronts the man who had once been his pillar of support. "Alex, told, you lied to me. You used me. All this time you've been working with them, haven't you? The judge, the ones behind it all. You knew what they were doing to my father, and you let it happen." Raymond told, "It wasn't about your father, Alex. It was never about him. It was about power, about control. Your father was too idealistic. He was a threat, and I was just doing what I had to do to survive. We all were." Alex told, "And me, Raymond? You didn't just betray my father. You betrayed me?" Raymond told, "Do you really think they let you expose the truth? They're already watching you, Alex. You're not just a pawn in this game. You're a threat, a liability, and that's why they want you gone. I don't want to be the one to do it, but if you don't stop now, you'll never make it out of here alive." Alex told, "You're wrong, I'll expose them, I'll bring this whole thing down, and you, Raymond, you will pay for what you've done." The words hang in the air like a threat, but before Raymond can respond, a sharp sound slices through the silence, like the crack of a gunshot. Alex's body freezes, his eyes dart around the darkened courthouse, but there's no movement, no sign of the danger that's closing in on him. He can feel it. They're here, the people who've been pulling the strings all along. Raymond told, "I warned you, Alex, you should have listened." And then, just as Alex's heart races as the world tilts on the edge of a knife, Raymond's hand shakes slightly. For the briefest moment, Alex sees the vulnerability in his eyes, the same man who had once been his rock, now reduced to a pawn in the same game of power and corruption. Alex told Raymond, "Don't do this, it's not too late, we can take them down together." What would you do if the person you trusted most in the world betrayed you in the worst possible way? Let us know in the comments below. If you're enjoying this story and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a new episode of our thrilling adventures. Your support means everything.